Hi, my name is John Tangenberg. I work for a small nonprofit here in the Los Angeles area. And we have been working on projects around schools. The first one that I'm going to talk to you about is a tree canopy study and a permeability to rainwater study that we did for Los Angeles Unified School District. A lot of people ask, why are you interested in schools? In LA County, 82% of each school site is paved or built out. There's no existing measure of tree canopy on school grounds. School districts are, and LAUSD is, one of the largest landowners in LA County, and especially when you count urban areas. Schools also have a high potential for for ecosystem services benefiting students during the day. Elementary schools in particular have all of their outside time during the hottest parts of the day. So, like most projects that we take on, there was no data. We had the school sites from the district, and that was about it. In the process, we mapped 33,000 trees across 509 elementary schools to get the canopy. We chose to map individual trees rather than the total coverage so that we would be able to use the data for later on in other processes. We mapped impervious surfaces and pervious surfaces based on whether there was access to them during the day. Critical information is, for us, that this is a playground and that this is landscape area, but the students can't get there during the day. That resulted in 509 reports. The standard GIS map is here to help people who want to do tree planting activities. Northeast Trees and Tree People are two groups that are planting trees at school sites, and this report helps them decide where they should do it. Over here is the data that basically cites the school, the board district area, the range for the whole school district, and the average. And we have the number of trees per acre for this particular school, the average of the district, the minimum and maximum. The gray bars show the minimum and maximum value ranges. So what we're trying to do is in one concise place give anybody who is looking at redesigning a school a whole set of data that they can quickly read. Unfortunately, I had an animation as the next slide, but it doesn't seem to have come through. And it basically would flip through. I can send you the link to the animation later. Getting information out to people who are making decisions. Now, when we started this process, the manager said, hey, let's send a report to each school. And that kind of works, but I noticed that when I'm in a meeting, I'm actually emailing people like, oh, do you have this information? Do you have this? So these 11 to 17 PDFs and the graphics were brought into a web map, and as you click on the school site, you get some basic information about it. You can zoom into that web graphic. You can do the same thing with the report, clicking on it, and it opens a PDF. The reports are print ready, so they are high enough resolution to print, and they're small enough to fit on your phone and email to whoever else needs the information. The second project I want to talk to you about is the actual redesign. So the Drought Response Outreach Program for Schools, which is another great state-named program, asked us to provide technical assistance. We ended up with a team that include a Masters of Landscape Architecture in our office and others in offices in Davis, California, and San Luis Obispo. To get everybody to work together on the same map, I built a web, put everything in a web map. The web map, we then, to say who could edit, who couldn't, we used Web App Builder. Which is available to us on our organizational account. The web map allowed them to take site visits, put in information that they needed to do the design, and come back into the office. They marked what the contributing area or the watershed of a particular rainwater gathering device would be. They used either Snap to Map or the Map Tour interface to geolocate their photos. And we used our ArcGIS server to digitize and serve up any plans that the schools already had. So they were able to mark down the contributing area, which is this walkway, and say where the water was going to go. They then had that information back here of how many square feet it is, and they could use that to run basin sizing tools and things like that for infiltration basins on the site. This gave them a 30% design. These 30% designs are then being submitted to the state for funding at the individual schools. In about a month and a half through this process, we mapped and designed out stormwater basins for 20 schools with one landscape architecture consultant. The final map, this is a live view of the data in ArcMap. And the flow lines that they marked out come out in the arrows, and you can see the chain of where the stormwater is going into which devices it's going. Our next steps is that we want to integrate additional hydrology priorities into our reporting and integrate some things into the STEM curriculum. We're using Map Tour to have students explore the process. We're using measures of hydrology. Where the information that you see actually changes as you look at it. Thank you very much.